Patch management isn't just a technical checklist, it's a skill set and mindset that professionals carry throughout their careers. Threats evolve, tools change, and environments grow more complex. But the habits you build early stay with you. Good habits ensure patching isn't reactive, only after a breach or audit, but second nature, a daily part of how you think about technology and security. Consistency is the single most important patching habit. Regular, predictable updates reduce backlog, lower stress, and build trust with stakeholders. Schedules, weekly, monthly, or tied to vendor releases, ensure nothing falls through the cracks. Documenting what gets patched and when creates discipline and resilience. You can't protect what you can't see. Visibility must be routine, asking what assets exist, which are critical, and which have fallen out of scope. In fast-changing environments with cloud and IoT, assume unknown assets exist and make discovery a priority. Not every patch is equally urgent. Risk thinking means weighing severity, exploitability, business impact, and compliance requirements together. Instead of asking only, "Is there a patch?" ask, "What happens if this system is compromised?" That mindset balances speed with stability. Testing is a safeguard. Even basic smoke tests or snapshots prevent outages caused by rushed patches. A rollback plan is critical for resilience. The lifelong habit is never skipping validation when time allows. Patch management is about people as much as technology. Executives want to hear about risk and impact, not CVEs or kernel versions. The lifelong skill is translating technical detail into business language to build trust and secure support. Metrics like MTTP, compliance, and coverage are tools for improvement. Treat them as feedback, not judgment. Use them to spot bottlenecks, investigate gaps, and drive progress. Professionals embrace metrics to stay accountable and credible. Tools and frameworks evolve. 10 years ago, vendor ratings dominated. Today we use CVSS, VPR, EPSS, and KEV. Tomorrow, new models will appear. Staying curious, reading advisories, following research, and testing tools keeps skills sharp and relevant. Automation is a force multiplier, but must be applied carefully. Automate routine, repetitive work like scans, patch rollouts, and reporting. But know when not to automate. Emergency patches and sensitive systems may require human judgment. Exceptions are sometimes necessary, but they must be treated with respect. Document them, apply compensating controls, and set time limits. Professionals avoid turning exceptions into permanent excuses. They are temporary bridges, not solutions. One of the most powerful lifelong skills is cultural influence. If patching is treated as low priority, it will be neglected. If you treat it as essential risk reduction, others will too. By modeling good habits, you spread them, embedding patching into organizational DNA. Section 4.3 emphasized that patch management is more than applying updates. It's about building habits and lifelong skills. Consistency, visibility, risk thinking, testing, communication, metrics, learning, automation, exception handling, and culture all scale across industries, roles, and tools. Threats will evolve and environments will change, but the professionals who succeed are those who carry these habits with them. By developing these skills now, you transform patching from a reactive task into a proactive discipline, making it a career-long strength rather than a weakness. As we move into the closing part of this course, let's step back and summarize the journey so far. We'll review each of the 4 major sections: foundations, prioritization, process, and lifelong skills, to highlight the most important lessons. Then we'll bring it all together with a single slide recap and end with some next steps you can take to continue building your patch management expertise. Module 1 laid the groundwork by defining patch management and why it matters. We saw that patching isn't just maintenance, it's risk reduction and business resilience. Attackers exploit known flaws within days, so unpatched systems are open doors. This section introduced the core concepts, terminology, and tools that form the foundation for everything that follows. Module 2 explored different types of patches and how to prioritize them. We looked at hotfixes, service packs, cumulative updates, and out-of-band fixes, each with its own risks and urgency. We also examined how classification systems like critical, high, medium, and low help organize vulnerabilities. But real prioritization requires risk thinking, business context, and compensating controls for systems that can't be patched immediately. Module 3 focused on the patching process itself, from discovery to verification. We covered the 7-stage life cycle, testing practices like smoke tests and rollback planning, and handling exceptions and workarounds when patching isn't possible. We also explored the role of automation across Windows, Linux, cloud, and DevOps environments, along with reporting and metrics like MTTP, compliance, and coverage. Together, these turned patching into a structured, repeatable discipline. Section 4 brought everything together through case studies and lifelong lessons. We examined real-world breaches like WannaCry, Equifax, Log4j, NotPetya, and LastPass, showing how delays, weak governance, and cultural barriers led to disaster. We identified common themes and built good habits: consistency, visibility, risk thinking, communication, and testing discipline. Finally, we emphasized that patch management is both technical and cultural, requiring leadership support and lifelong learning. The associate book gave us 4 big takeaways. First, patching is a core defense. Unpatched systems are open doors, and exploits emerge quickly after disclosure. Second, not all patches are equal, so prioritization must consider severity, risk, and business context. Third, patching is a process, not an event. Following the lifecycle, testing, handling exceptions, and using automation and metrics keeps it consistent and reliable. Finally, real-world breaches show us that patching is both technical and cultural. Building lifelong habits like consistency, visibility, testing, and clear communication ensures patching becomes a strength, not a weakness. As we wrap up, here are some next steps to put your learning into action. Review the key takeaways from each section and build your own patch management checklist. Practice prioritizing vulnerabilities using real-world scenarios, and set up a small lab to test patches and rollbacks safely. Begin tracking simple metrics like mean time to patch, compliance, and coverage to measure progress. Most importantly, apply these habits consistently in your current role. Finally, use this foundation to prepare for the Certified Patch Management Associate exam, the next milestone in your patching journey.